Okay, so let's start the session. First of all, if you have any question related to the previous assignment or previous session, you can ask the question right now. Any
Number 2
question?
from previous assignment.
Which?
Question number 2,
Sixth assignment.
sixth assignment. Yes.
Okay, what do you want to know here?
So the in lower right corner, the rectangular float that is cut, we have not given the height, at what height it is cut and what is the depth of cut, all that details.
Okay, this one cut.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there were some dimensions missing. This one was missing. Actually, this is a assembly drawing, so the this dimension was in the other drawing. So in case you don't have any in case you don't have any dimension, you can assume the dimension, or you can search for the part that is assembled here, and you can check the dimension of that part. According to that, you can see it. But if you don't have any dimension, you can just assume the dimension according to your uh, drawing given here. Okay, so in here you can see that we have a dotted line here. We have the gap from here 32, and we have this diameter to 8, so this gap is 4. So it's 28, and you should have considered it around 25, 20. Okay. Okay. Any other questions? You can ask the question if you have any. I think many people asked about this one in the messages. Have you created this
Good
one?
afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Last question.
The last question.
Yeah, this one, sir.
Okay. So have you tried it? How can we create this?
Yes, sir. I have tried. I have used lost command.
This option will be created with the help of simple extrude. Extrude and extrude cut, nothing else. Okay. First of all, check the dimensions, check the drawing. You have the view here. You can see there are U shape options in here, U shape figure. This line is vertical, and we have a line that is at an angle. The angle is given 7 degrees. So you can just create the sketch from inside and from the outside like this one, and extrude it up to the value. So we have the maximum value. First, you can see that the radius is 10, so we have to extrude it up to the 20 on both sides, and after that you can apply the draft on the sides, 2-degree draft on all the walls. Okay, so let's try it. So go to the part for first class. No, it's the seventh class.
Yes, sir.
I think we have merged two batches here. One is from 10 a.m. and one is from 3:30. Both the batches were on the seventh class today. You have covered the 6 lectures already. I have taken the 3:30 batch previously also, the sixth batch, the sixth class. If you have any questions related to the this problem, you can ask in the group. Okay. So here we have to just simply create a sketch. I'm going to sketch in the front. We have a circular shape. We have some lines like that. Okay. After that, trim out. So the radius is given, that is 11 for the inside. and the depth we have given is 40 from here. So the dimension for this line should be 40. After that, select both of the lines, use the equal constraint, then we have the radius of 24 at outside. You can just use the offset entity, select this one. You can see this is complete selection. Select the uncheck this option, select change and use offset. It is 11, we need to make it 24, so the offset should be for 13. Okay, you can see the dimension here is 13. You can also define it as a radius from the dimension. This is 24. So after that, you have to create some lines that are at an angle. I'm going to use some shapes like this one. Okay, so you just have to move it further and you just have to select both and apply the tangent selection in between them. Okay, like that. So right now this object is moving, so if you check the dimension, okay, we have the angle that is 7 degree. So find the angle between these two, that is 7 degree. Okay, and after that you can just go like that, you can just create it like that, or you can just select both the points, create the merge option here. You can mirror this object also, so just select these two, apply the mirror command from here, and we need a center line here. So to create a center line, just use the line, select, convert to construction, select, make it vertical. Select both the lines, use the mirror entity, use the mirror above, like that, it's okay. Now select both the points and use the merge entity and not merge. It is due to the mirror command line is at exact point. We need to move this line, this point. So if you select the object, you can see the some relation. Okay. If we face any problem, we can just delete it or we can just use the merge point and not the merge. Okay. So use this symmetrical option first and check. Okay, we are going. Again facing the problem. So just going to delete the circle or you can create it like that. So let's choose to use the tangent. Here also the tangent. Here also the point and this one should be merged. Point and this one should be merged. So there are multiple ways to create a one like that. So define the value. Okay, it's 24. Click OK. Define the other values like okay. So there we need the tendency and it is fully defined. Exit out feature and you have to extrude. So if you see in the side view, we have the radius of 10, so the extrude should be 20 and it should be in the mid plane. Click OK and here we have the shape. So from the front, we have the exact shape, but from the side, we need a different shape. So what is the shape in the side? You can see, if you see the section, we have this shape. It's on the angle. That angle is 2 degrees from the mid, and we have a fillet down here of the radius 10. So to create the fillet, we have the option here, the fillet, that is full round. From here, you can just select this, enter, select this, enter, and select this. Like that you can create. Okay, use the fillet again, this one, enter, this one, enter. Like that you can create a full round feature like that. Okay, next we have to apply the draft here. So the draft will be selected like that. Select the draft full direction. We're going to select the middle plane and select the faces where you want to apply the draft. Now you can see this is the parting line. Go to the neutral plane, select the face where you want to apply the draft, like that. Okay. If you select these and use the draft to 2 degree, click OK, you will face an arc like that. So in order to create the draft, you just have to create that before the fillet. Go to the draft and select the neutral plane like that. Select the faces to draft, that is this one and this one. The angle should be 2. Click OK and there is draft. Now you can see both the edges are on angle. So go back, the rollback feature will create update the feature like that. Okay. So this was the shape. If you go to the section for this one, so here you will see where we have the shape that is required. Okay. Now we are left with the hole command. Let's create the hole. Create the hole, you can just simply select the face, but if you select the face, the hole will be created in the angular direction, okay, according to this face. So select the middle plane. You can go to the extrude, cut directly here, go to the circle, go here and then you will get the center, create the hole like that, and we need the hole to be of dia 10. Exit, go to the option here, through all both, click OK, and the material will be removed from both the sides. Okay, any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. So next we have to create another feature up here. How to create that? We have a circular option. We have a dia of 26. Circle with a dia of 26. We're going to create a sketch, a circle with a dia of 26 and another circle that is with a diameter of 18. Exit out, complete. So now go to the extrude. We need only the outer first, okay, or if you want to create both, that will not create the hole here. So go to the contour, select only the outer. Okay, you can see this will create the feature like that. Now we want the feature to be extruded from upside to downside. Okay, for that we have to go offset face. From here we want to create that feature. The dimension is 67 overall. We have the 40 from center and 11 from here. So this will be 51 and 67. So this will be 16 height from above. Okay, so I'm going to use directly 27. So offset should be 27 from upside and the direction should be flipped downside and it should be up to the surface. Select the surface and here you get some error. Okay, so I have selected the surface, but the surface was extended from the outside so that we got an object that will be created up to from here next option. So we cannot create it like that. We have to create it before the shape, before this. So how to create that before this? Okay, for that we have to use, go to the extrude here. Use the offset of each urban. Let's go to some lines and create it something like that. Okay. So if you see the drawing, we need this to be only up to this point. So we can just extend it like that. Click OK, and we can just cut it out from extrude cut. You just have to convert the entities, or you can just create a circle like that. You can join both. You can use the co-radial and exit out and use the extrude cut to all both. Okay, and you can see we have the shape here like that. Okay, so this is the shape. After that, you just have to create a cut. So go to here, use the sketch. I'm going to use this one. So this will be extrude cut, and this should be to all. So fit the direction, click OK, and here is the hole. So turn the sketch off like that, and after that you are left with the fillet. So use the fillet. We have the radius of the fillet, that is R2. So just select the edge. First select here and select the edge. The value should be specified from here. R2. You can see it is being created like that. So select the edge again. You can select the outer edges also like that. Outer also like that. Okay. You need to select this one. If it is possible, it will be created. If you face any problem, it will show up. Like that, you can see everything is defined now. Click OK and the select is complete. This is the feature. You have to just create this one. So simple extrude, draft, and fillet I have used only. Okay, any question? If you go to the section, you can see the shape. Yeah. Yeah, this question is from the Model Mania. SolidWorks conducted a competition every year, and in that competition, SolidWorks provide a question. Like this one was the first question. After that, they provide a different question with some modification in this, and you have to create that object according to the modification. So it's called the Model Mania. You can search on the Google. So from the Model Mania, you can learn many things. So next, we are going to. If you have any question, you can ask, or we are going to move on to the assembly. Okay, I think there is no question. So going to move to the assembly now. So to see the assemblies, first I'm going to open some samples. What can be done with the help of assembly. So here I have an assembly. It's a basic, just a representation. If you see, I can rotate the object first. It should be open properly. Okay, wait for a few seconds. It will open. Okay. So here is the object. You can see you can rotate the object like that separately. You can move the object like that. You can see it can move till now 360 degrees. You have to apply some relation to constrain the motion in 360 degrees. You have to move according to the angle, like 45 degree in both sides. So to create these type of objects, to create these type of products, we use assembly. We have created each and every part separately. You can see this one is separate part, this one is a separate part. If you click open, you can see them, how they are built, what options I have used in between them. Okay, so we are going to create the assemblies like this one. How to create those? You can see I have created this one also. This is a very simple product. I have not created according to the standard. Just to create the representation, I have created this one. You can see I have created some threads here also. Okay. So how to combine, how to assemble the product this is what we are going to cover in the session today. So we are covering this assembly part in two sessions. So first we are going to cover simple system, that how to assemble a simple part, how to assemble a part without checking the motion. In the next session we will check the motion, we will apply a motor, we will check we can create the video or the animation from that also. So first of all go to the new file. We have an option here that is assembly. You can click on that, click OK, and here is the assembly module. Okay. So in assembly, you can create a model. Okay, the tire will. That's a simple tire I have created with the help of some patterns. Nothing much, just extrude and pattern. Extrude, revolve, pattern. These things are used. Nothing much. Okay. So in assembly, there are two methods. There are two approaches to create the assembly. First is the bottom-up approach, and second is the top-down. So what do you mean by bottom-up? So you know that till now we have created the separate parts. We have created every part separately till now, and after that I'm going to assemble all those parts in the assembly. Okay. So in bottom up approach, we create all the parts separately and then we go to the assembly and assemble them there. And in the top down approach, we directly open a new file in the assembly and there we have the option to create parts from there. We can create a part up here by just clicking on the new part. You can just select where we want to create. Now you can see we have a sketch here. Like I want to create a circular entity like a tire. Going to create that with the help of a rectangular shape. Like that. Okay. Create an axis and like that. Define it. I'm not going to define it right here. So go exit out of the sketch. Now go to the feature and use the revolve from here. Select the axis and now we can just revolve the object like that. So you can see next we have the part here. We have the part of the name part 2. You can just click on it and edit the name, or you can right click and go to the there should be a name rename part. Okay. So define the name. If you want to define anything, suppose it should be tire. Like that you can create. Okay. So in this way you can create all the parts up here with the relation from each other, and this will be called the top down approach. Okay. So in top down we create all the parts in the assembly. In bottom up we create all the parts in the part modeling, and after that we insert them in the assembly and we build the assembly there. So this is the difference. Next I'm going to use the bottom up approach here. So to insert the components in the assembly, we have an option here that is insert component. Click here and you will see this option. When you open the new file for the assembly, you will also get this option here. You can insert the component from here directly, or you can just click here insert component and again it will open. So now the first option is open documents. You see here in the open documents you will see all the components that are currently open. So I'm going to open some parts first. We're going to use this part. So I have a part here. So I go to the assembly. Okay. So here I have the assembly. So if I go to the insert component, you can see that now we have the part here that is open currently in the software. So I can just select that and place that here. So in this way, you can just place a component. If you don't have a part opened, you can just go to the insert, go to the browse, and you can choose the part from the folder also. So I'm going to use some parts from my directory. Go to parts And okay, wait for this second. It should be okay. Here are the parts. So I'm going to select the part from here. I can select a part, single part, and I can open, or I can select all the parts like this way, and I can open everything in a single click also. Okay, so click open, and you can see page open site. Okay, we are seeing some error in the part. I don't know which part has the error. So you can see that first we have the object here. You have to click anywhere you want to place it. Now you can see it is the second object. Then we have the third object. Then we have the fourth object. As you click, you will get the new part to place. Like that, you can just place all of your parts in the assembly. Okay. So now you can see in the model tree, we have all the parts here. If you open the part, you can see all the model tree from those parts will be here. Okay, if you open the part from here, you can see we have the model tree here. We have all the commands used in this part. So to switch, go to the window, go to the assembly. And now if you open the assembly, open the feature from here, you can see every command that we have used till now. Okay. So next is we have to place them. We have to apply some constraint here to create the assembly. You can see every part is movable now except the first part that we have inserted in this one. So the first part I have inserted is this one, so I cannot move this part, and rest of the parts can be moved. So how to make a part movable, how to make a part fixed? Just click on the part, press right click. In the list we have the option right now that is float. So if you want to make it floating, you can just select the float. Now this object can be movable. If you want to create a part, if you want to make a part fixed, now you can see there is the option fixed. So the part can be fixed now, it cannot be moved. Okay, okay. How many people are joining now? Okay, two people. I think you should ask in the group for more people they are going to join, and I will repeat only once. Okay, wait for a few minutes. I think more
So,
people are
hello.
joining. Okay, yes.
Sir, if you want to import some another from part from another software, so
I'm
what
going to
we
explain that also. I'm going to explain that. Wait for a few minutes. I think more people are going to join. Wait for a few seconds. Okay, till now, you can ask any question related to any previous session or related to any previous assignment. I will show you that. And after that, I'm going to start with the assembly again. So someone asked how I created the tire. I'm going to show you. Okay, so you can see this is the tire. Just going to open that, and you will see I have created this rim and the tire in this part. Okay, this is a single body. So to see where I have created this tire, if I go to the roll back, you can see first of all I have created this shape, then this one was created. Okay, from there I have created the simple revolve command with some groove. After that, apply the fillet on the corner, and I have applied extrude here for the shape, for the representation, and pattern that. So you can see this is the simple representation. After that, apply the fillets on separate places. Then I have used the cut extrude up here. You can see there is one groove. After that, I have patterned this groove on all the sides, and then use the second groove in here and again pattern that in the middle like that. After that, I have mirrored both the grooves to the other side, and here is the back. Okay, nothing much. It's just a simple part and created. Okay, so let's start again with assembly. So in the assembly, we basically join or assemble all the parts that we have created, and we have to apply some motion from here, some mates from here, and after that we can see the part can be moved to the motion that is required. Like this is tire, so it should be rotated around an axis. It should be rotated also, and both the tires should be rotated according to this one. Okay. So to create these type of assemblies, we have multiple options here. We have to import the parts step by step, or we can import them simultaneously in just a single click. So going to start with the new assembly. Okay. So first of all, locate your folder where you have created all the parts. After that, go to the new file, open the assembly, click here on the assembly, and we are in the assembly module. So it will ask directly for the insert option. You have to directly select the part from here. If the part is open, you can choose it from here. If there is no part open, you can directly go to the browse and directly go to the folder from where you want to insert the component. First of all, I'm going to use a component from my folder that is here. Okay, so I can select a component, single component, or I can select multiple also. So I'm going to select a single component right now. You can see there is the component. I just have to click at a point and the component will be placed there. Okay, so there is the option. You can see this is the component that I have inserted. I cannot move this component right now. It is fixed. And if you click here to the drop down menu, you can see the model tree for that component is present in here. Okay, you want to create anything you can create in this option in the assembly. So in assembly we have two approaches. We can use the parts we have created in the part modeling and insert them into the assembly, that is the bottom up approach, or we can directly create something in the assembly, that is top down approach. To create something in the assembly directly, you have the option in here, click here, and there is the option new part. You can create a new part directly inside the assembly. So suppose I want to create something here, click on the face, you have the option, you can just create a shape. You can also apply the relation from this part. Suppose I want to define gap is 0.5. Okay, so exit out, go to the feature, click the extrude, and you can create an extrude like that. Okay, it's okay. Now you can see if I change the size of this object will also be changed. You go to the edit component, click here, and you are back in the assembly. You can see this object is placed on this. So if I change the size of this object, so to change the size, I have to just go to the edit. I have to save the changes first to edit something here. Or you can see right now, if you have to create some changes, I have to save this assembly, file, save. I want to save this on the desktop. I want to save the part created in this assembly internally. Click OK, and the part will be saved in this file. So if I go to the edit now from here, you can see this is the revolve. I'm going to edit. You can see the sketch is created right here. So right now we have the gap of 0.75. If I change it to 1 and exit out, you can see the size will also be updated according to that. If I change it back to zero point 0.5, you can see right now this there is the gap increase, but I suppress. Okay, so there should be some column. So you can see again this gap remains constant according to the relation because we have created some relation in here. Like you go to the sketch, you can see that the relation of the dimension relation is from this side. So it will remain constant whether you change it up or down, you can increase or decrease the size. So that will be the top down approach. We're going to use, I'm going to first delete these parts. I'm going to assemble a feature here, okay, some parts here. So how to import the parts now? Just click on the insert component and go to the browse, and you can go directly to the folder where you have saved your drawings, and now you can select everything in a single selection like that. Okay, so which part you select here, so the part you select first will be inserted first. So I want to make this part as the base, the first object. So I have selected this part first, and after that I'm going to select these parts like that. Go to the open. Now you can see, okay, so I have made changes here previously, so I have to close the file. Don't save, I'm just going to create a new file because that part was already opened, so we have to close the assembly so that there will be no problem. So go to the browse and select the part. I'm going to import this part, open, and here is the part. Okay, so the order of the part will be according to the name also. So right now I have defined the name of the part 1, 2 according to that. So the first part was this number 1. Okay, so now you can see everything is movable. If you move the part, you can see everything is movable, not the first part. This part will not be movable. So how to make a part movable or the fixed? Do that, you can just select the part, right click. If the part is fixed, you will see the option float. If the part is float, you will see the option is fixed. So you can fix an object like that. After that, you can see all the parts are here. There is another option that is made. So in here, up here, we have also the option mate. So what is the mate? Basically, it is the relation we are going to add in the different parts. So what we are going to do is we are going to make this feature in relation with this cylindrical option here. We want to place these two here. So to do that, just select the two faces like that, and go to the mate, you can directly create some mate like that, because SolidWorks define the mate automatically. If you want to change the mate, you can do that. From here you can use the parallel, perpendicular, the tangent also, or you can select the mate from here, consistent, parallel, perpendicular, tangent, concentric, log, circle. So if you go to the mate, you can see there are three type of mates. First is the standard mate, second is the advanced, and third is the mechanical. So what is the difference? In the standard mate, you will just define the mate, like you can make this object concentric, make it constant, make it fixed, make it at an angle, you can place it at a distance, or you can just lock the component. But in the advanced mate, you have some option where you can make the two parts symmetrical, make you can make an object to move at an path, you can create a relation, like you have the distance here, you can make an object to move at a distance at with a limited distance, or you can make an object to rotate at an angle. You can define these type of mates, and we have the mechanical where you can create the cam and follower mate, where you can define the slot, where you can define the hinge type, where you can define the gear. So what can these do? Just going to show you with the help of another example. So here we have an example. So this is a component, this is a product. Right now you can see if I turn this one, my product will turn, my object will turn according to that, and the functionality will perform here like that. Okay, so you can see this is the rack here, and if I turn it, if I hide this part, you will see there is the pinion here. So if I turn one, the other will be moved according to the relation that I provided. Okay, so these will be covered in the mechanical mate. These mates will be applied in the mechanical mate. You can just rotate the object also. Okay, we have some other options. So here you can see this is a bicycle. So you can turn it like that, but up to an angle you cannot turn it further that angle, because I have applied a mate that is from the advanced mate. From the advanced mate you can apply the angle, and you can apply the limit that up to what point you want to rotate this part. You can see this is the angle limit applied here. You cannot move it further from this point. You can see if I rotate this, the tire will also rotate according to the gear motion that is provided here. You can see we have a pulley here, a gear here, and a gear here. If I rotate one, the object will be rotated according to that. Okay, this is a freely rotating tire, because we know that when we rotate this one, we create a push, and that will move this one on. So to create these type of assemblies, we use different kind of mates from here. We have the standard to just create a simple product. To apply some limits, we have the advanced mate. To apply the mechanical mates like screw, like vacuum pinion, like universal joint, we have this option. Mechanical. Let's start with a simple joint, simple standard mates from here. So we know that this is the product. We need to create some relations here. We need this part up here, we need this one here, and we need this part to be on this one, we need this part to be on this one, and we need this part to be this one. And after that, we need to rotate this one at an angle so that these parts can be used from here. and these things will go inside here, and this thing will also go inside here. So to create the mate, just select the surface, select the reference like that, then you can just go to the mate, click on the mate, and the mate will be applied automatically. You don't have to select the mate. If you want to use the mate from your side or you want to define that manually, go to the mate. Here, select the mate first. I want to make a concentric relation here. Then you have to select two parts like this face and this face. And now you can see these two are concentric. Okay, so now this part can be rotated around its axis. If you want to lock the rotation, you can click here or you can click here, lock rotation. So I don't want to make it fixed, but I want to make it rotate. You can see this object can be moved in this direction and can be rotated around its axis like that. So I need that rotation, and if you want to make it fixed, you can just click on the surface like that, and both of them will be created coincident. Face to face will be joined. If you want to define a distance between them, there is the option that is distance. How much distance you need? I need zero point 0.5. You can define that. Okay. So click OK, and the motion will be defined. You see that now you can just rotate the part, not move the part. So like this way, you can add some mate. Check the mate. Where is the mate applied? You can just go to the mate. Now you can see these are the mates till now that I applied. If you want to see the individual part where the mate is, what this part contains, what mate this part contains, you can just go to the part, select it from here. Now you will see we have a line in blue color. So just open it. You will see first option is mate in assembly. So check that, and we have two mates applied to this part. So you can check them, you can edit them. I don't want this mate, I can just right click and delete this one. If you want to edit, you can right click and go to the edit feature, and you can edit the mate also. Suppose I don't want to rotate it, lock rotation, click OK, exit out. Now you can see this part cannot be rotated, but this can be moved because I have deleted the move option, the relation consequence from here. So go to the edit, uncheck the lock rotation, click OK. So this is the option we need now. So for the second part, I want this part to be uh, consistent with this one. So this circle should be concentric to this one. So you can just select it from here, the concentric. Okay, like that. Now this face should be attached to this one. So you can just select it from here, like I want to add the constraint from here. We can directly add the constraint from here, or you can select the part and go to the mate also. You can apply the constraint from up there also. The next part is this one. I need this part to be here. So you can select this one also or this one also, because both the cylindrical face have the same center. So I'm going to select this one and this one while pressing the control. Go to the mate like that. You can also specify I want this part like that, and now I want that this circular entity should be constrained to this one. You can see there is the relation concentric added like that. Click OK, and now we can see that this part can be rotated around. Okay, if we rotate now the first object, the second will be rotated according to that, because we have applied that this face should be aligned to this one and this face should be aligned to this one, and we have applied a motion that the faces should be constant. So if sometime you will see that your product is moving outside, you can further apply something to restrict the motion. Okay, so basically we are just going to restrict the motion of the object from here. Mate will restrict the motion. Okay, like that you can just move. Now you can see there is another column here, so we can just add another relation from here to here, that it should be constant, and now it will not move to any other location. And you can see that there are some gaps, and those gaps are defined automatically because we have specified some relation with respect to this box. Okay, here any question related to this one? If you have any question, you can ask that.
Sir, if you want to move at some angle, then what we can do?
Right now in this, we cannot move it at an angle. You can see directly it is on angle. This object is being rotated. If you want to rotate at an angle, you can do that. We will show you in the next when we are going to cover the advanced mates. Okay, for the angle, we are going to cover the advanced mate later. First, we are going to use the standard mate till now. Okay, we will show you how to do that. We will cover an assembly, but first, just the standard mate, how you can restrict the motion. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so now you can see all the mates I have applied till now is here. If you select and delete, everything will be deleted like that. Okay, again these are similar like that. You can apply any mate first, like I can apply the mate here directly. I can use the mate here directly like that. I can use the mate here. So whichever mate you want, you can create that mate directly. There is no rule that you should do first any particular one. Okay, it's dependent on you how you want to create the sentence. So like that, I can just select these two and apply a relation here, and select these two, and I can apply the relation. Now it is select again. It is rotated. This can be rotated around the axis. Clear? So after that, we have to insert some pins here. To insert the pins, you can see we have a smaller pin, we have a larger pin. So select the pin, select the face from inside, define the relation concentric, and the pin will be inserted. Now you have to restrict its motion. So to restrict the motion, we have to select some faces. Now you can see that when I created these objects, there was some planes. So select the object, this is the object, and select this one. So this is the object. So this one and this one, these are the two objects that I'm going to specify some relation. So open the part like that. Now you can see we have some planes here. So I know in this part I have a plane in the middle, and again in this pin I have a plane in the middle. If I select both the planes like that, and if I click on the mate, both the mates will be defined a new relation. Both the plane will be defined a new relation coincident, and they will be joined together like that. You can see you can define very easily some relation. The coincident will join the two planes or the two faces. The concentric will make two cylindrical objects in concentric relation, or it can join the axis of both the objects. Okay, if you want to define a parallel relation, both the faces will be parallel. If you want to define the perpendicular, the faces will be perpendicular, or planes will be perpendicular. Like that, you can create. Now we have to add a small thing like here. Okay, now you can see we don't have a plane for that. Okay, because its plane is in the mid, and we don't have the plane around here. So we can just select the face also, like I have a face here of this object, I can select that face. I have a face here of this object, I can select this face. Now you can see it is coincident to that face. If you want to flip the side of that object, you can just click here on the flip mate alignment, or you can just select here mate alignment and select the other one. You can see the rotation of the object will be flipped. Okay, or the orientation will be flipped from here with mate alignment, or from here. Now you see that the object is outside. I want it to move further inside, so that we have a distance option here. Just select on the distance and define the distance. I want that distance to be somewhere, okay, this is 0.15. I can just flip the dimension here, so it will be from here. So I have calculated the distance, so I can use that distance for the mate alignment of distance. Okay, so click OK. Now we have to assign the pin on the other side option, the other side also. So you can just import the pin from here again. Go to the browse and select the pin and import that. Or you can just create a copy directly here. So just select, press the control button, select the object and drag it out. You can see the pin remains here and a new copy is created directly. You can just press the control, select the object and drag it, and the copy will be created like that. Okay, so I don't need this copy, I need this one, and it should be joined here. So I'm going to rotate the object a little bit so that I can see the face here like that. So I'm going to select the face, going to use this one face, going to define a relation that is distance, and that distance I know is 0.15. So you can see, click OK, we have the object here. Now define the relation like that, concentric, and we have the object here. But you can see that object is inside. So what to do? Go to the object, or you can go to the mate directly. You can see that the second last mate is the distance. Go to the edit. You can edit the mate by just clicking here, mate alignment, and you can just flip the dimension also, and the object will be aligned. Okay, so if you turn it, you can see that this object can be rotated around the axis like that. So next we have to place this object up here. So select two circular faces, use the concentric, and you can see that the concentric is applied inside of that object. Okay. So go to the concentric, go to the edit feature, you can just use the mate alignment, click the mate alignment, click OK, and we have the object. Next we need is to apply some relation here on those two. So you can apply the parallel, you can flip from here. You can apply the coincident or the parallel, but parallel works best because sometimes we have some gap in between those two faces and they will produce an error. Okay, so the parallel works the best. Click OK. This is the parallel constraint. Now you can see the product can be moved from front back, but it can rotate the object like that. So for that, just going to select this face, okay, and or you can just select this face. We know that this is the keyway up to here, the part will be added, so you can just select these two, create a coincident, and the part will be up to that point. You can constrain like that. So you can see just rotating it from here, all the components will be rotated like that. After that, apply the new relation to these components. So I'm going to use the cylindrical here again. Okay, so go to the edit, flip like that. Okay, so just leave that. Now define the new face that this should be constant at this face like that. So you can see it is now rotating, but we have some error here. It is rotating around the axis. So select the face like that, select the face like that, and make them parallel. Click OK, and we have the object like that. If you rotate, whole the body will rotate. After that, we are left with the option here. Select that circular face. It will go down, left. Okay, we need this to be up here. Select this face, select this face, click OK, and here is the assembly. Okay, Now rotate this object. You can see we are having some problem in rotating this because this is rotatable. This can be rotated around its own axis. So to restrict the rotation around the own axis, we can just go to the mate from here, or we can just select it. You can see this one is the part, the blue one. Go inside, go to the mate in assembly, select the concentric, edit that, and select the lock rotation from here. Click OK, and its rotation is locked now. If I rotate it, now you will see we are able to rotate the whole body easily. Okay. Actually, some people were asking that my voice is not proper. My voice is very low, so that I have kept that mic very close to my mouth. Okay. So in this way, you can just create a basic assembly. You can apply some constraint from here. Okay. Any question till now? If you want to ask any question. Is there any question related to the mates or to import the part? Okay. So next I'm going to show you some other mates, how to work with the constant parallel perpendicular like that. So I'm going to use this part from here. So if you select two faces like that, you can add the constant, the parallel, the perpendicular like that, the distance, the angle. All of these can be applied. Going to select the mate from here. You can see this is the coincident. If you select the parallel, it can be made movable because the parallel relation is there, but there is no other relation. And if you select the perpendicular, both of the faces will be made perpendicular. You can select the lock, both will be locked at their position. This is not movable now. Now we have a distance relation. You can add the distance in between like that. Or if you want to define some angle, you can define the angle between them. What angle you need, so you can define that. The angle will be added, like I want a 45-degree angle, so the object will be around the 45 degree. Okay, if you see in the from the top, you apply the 90-degree, object will be at 90 degree like that. Okay, so these are the basic options in the standard mates. In this way you can use your assembly. Okay, so how to use the option of the copy? So I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to open the file directly. Okay, so just in the again in this assembly you can see the options. So you can see here that I have multiple bolts here. So you don't have to use the bolts multiple times. You just have to copy them. So how to do that? You can see right here we have some spur gear arm. We have a socket head cap screw. We have a instrument ball bearing. Okay, and we have this socket head cap screw AM like that down. So first of all, how to import these standard components in the assembly. So just going to remove the socket head from here. And after that, hexagon nuts. Okay, I think these are the hexagon nuts. So we have the hexagon nuts right here. So I'm going to use lead first, like that. We have a cap screw right here. This socket had cap screw. I'm going to remove those also. Okay. So how to import some standard feature from the assembly or from the library into the assembly? So go to this option right here and select the second option, that is design library. Click here. Now we have the option that is design library and the toolbox. From the design library, we can import some parts from here. From the hardware, we have some flange boards, we have some quarter joints, we have some gear, nuts, and retaining rings also. And we have the complete toolbox available here. Click on the toolbox, click on the add-in now, and you will see toolbox here. Okay, so first of all, we have some standards. So choose the standard according to your need. Okay, I'm going to use the NC metric. Double click on that. Now we have some. Okay, I'm going to import that per gear. Okay, for that you have to go to the power transmission, go to the gear, and we have here the per gear. Just drag and drop, and we have the gear here. And according to that, we have its profile. Everything will be specified right here. It will take some time to load. Now you have all the properties of this per gear. Okay. If you want to insert a bolt, go to the standard again, go to the bolt and screw. What type of bolt you need? I need a socket head cap screw. So here the socket head screw. Double click. I need a socket head cap screw, and we need to find what type of screw we need. So size and type will be specified in the drawing. We have to read the drawing first. Right now I don't have the drawing here, so I'm just going to drag anyone like that. Then we have again the size and the properties here. You can select the size from here, whichever you need. Specify that everything and click OK, and here it will fit. You can create the copies, just click, click, and the copies will be created like that. To exit out, just press escape. Okay, so like that you can create your components, standard components, they will be added in the model. So delete that. Now, after you have imported the component, you have to just apply some relation here. So first of all, select the object. We have this object here, so I'm going to use it. I'm going to delete this relation. This one is the object. We have some relation in the assembly, the concentric, the coincident, and the concentric again. I'm going to delete all three relations. Now you can see this object is movable now. So first of all, define the relation. You can define it with this and with this also, because both have similar center, concentric like that. Okay, and now apply a face-to-face relation with this one and make a make. Okay, so you can see I have applied a relation. If I rotate the object, it can be rotated because I have not defined the option in the mate, that is lock rotation. So go down, we have created this concentric, go to the edit feature, go to the lock rotation, click OK, and we have the feature lock here. So how to create its copies? You can just create the copy by pressing the control and drag the object outside, but again we have to apply the relation to according to the location. So I just want the relation directly, so we have another option, that is select on the part, click on the part, right click, we have an option here that is copy with mates. Okay, now in this we can directly copy the mates also. So click on the copy with mates. Now you can see here we have an option copy with mates. We have selected the part. Now click on the next. We have some option here. So first of all, it is asking that in the concentric, what do you want to create? You want to repeat that concentric, you can do that, or you have to specify the next location. Right now, I want to create this part here, I want to place it here, so I cannot repeat the object here, repeat the concentric here, because the similar phase will be repeated. I want to define the new one, so just click here, you can see the phase is defined. Now there is the second, that is coincident. You can see that all the faces are similar to each other because depth is similar. So I can just repeat that and you can see there is the path. I can also define that from here by just clicking on that face, but I can just repeat that also. Okay, so click OK, and now you are again in the command. So repeat this one coincident and define the new circular face like that. Click OK. So like this way you can create. So select and click OK, and everything will be created like that. Exit out from the command, you will see all the components fixed, defined properly. Okay, if you go to the part, from the last part you can edit or you can check the relation. The mates will be defined properly with the help of copy mate option. Okay, so now we have this part.
Sir, can you please,
Yes,
excuse me, sir?
yes,
Sir,
Siddharth.
can you please repeat it once again?
Okay, I'm going to define multiple here. You can see that we have this bolt here. Okay, I want to
Yeah,
place
okay.
this bolt also here. I want to place it here also. Just go to there, like that, press right click, go to the copy with mates. Okay, so now we have selected the part already. Just click here on the next. It will give you two options or multiple options according to the mate you have applied. If you have applied two mates, there will be two options. If you have applied multiple mates, more than two, there will be all the mates available here. So we are just going to specify the location for the new object. We know that this face and this face are parallel. So if I repeat the relation for this mate, so we know that that mate is coincident. So if I repeat this one, okay, so the new object will be created according to that plane. But we have to define a new location. For that, we have to define the concentric location, that is this one. If I click here, you can see the object will be created directly on that location. Clear?
Yes, sir, it is clear.
Okay. Again, we have similar option how to use the bolt. So for the bolt, I think we should have here. Okay, this one is again. Okay, I think I have deleted all the nuts from here. Okay, so the main purpose was how to import the product inside, how to use the copy and bitmate option. Like that, you can do that. So if you have any question, you can ask now. And questions related to this one, how to copy the part with the mate option, copy with mate. Okay, so next, let me we have covered the mate, the basic mates, the standard one. We have covered the insert option, the copy with mate option is here. We can create a new assembly from here also. We can create a new part from here also. So we can use the assembly in the assembly also. Like I want to import a new assembly. I think I have created some other part. Okay, so I'm going to open this part. Okay, so here this is the part. In this assembly, I have created a sub assembly also. What is the sub assembly? The sub-assembly is it means that I have created an assembly inside of a assembly. Like I am creating this assembly here, and I have a component that have multiple parts. So I can assemble that component differently, separately in the new file and import that component directly here. So if you see here, we have an assembly here that is oil site assembly. Okay, if I go to the open, I can open that assembly separately. So this component have different parts. So this is a different part, this is a different part. We have some components. So we can create an assembly and we can directly import that assembly into another assembly. Like here, we have imported that assembly here. Okay, that was inside somewhere. That's why we are not able to do according to that. I think this one is the okay. This is the assembly we are looking for. Okay. Like this way, we can create sub-assembly and we can import that. To import the assembly, just click on the import or insert component, go to the browse. You can just select any part, any assembly, and you can import it directly. So here this is the oil side body. Okay, this is the oil side assembly here. Okay, it is written here that this is the assembly document. So open, and here is the assembly. Okay, like that you can import an assembly. It is similar to import like the part. You can create the assembly and import that. Okay, so these were the basic option in the assembly. That was it for the day. If you have any question, you can ask. In the next session, we are going to cover some other options like the mates in advanced option. Okay, this option, and we are going to cover the mechanical mate now. I think I'm going to explain a few mates in the advanced here. For that, I'm going to open on recent. There should be the wheel assembly. Okay, so right now, if I zoom out, you can see that I can rotate it, I can move it. Okay, now you can see that these objects can be rotated in 360 degree. That is not possible in the real world. So how to limit, how to control its angle, that would be from the advanced mates. To control the angle, we have to just go to the mates, go to the advanced mates. We have the option here, the angular, like that. In this, we have to select two faces. I want to select this one and select this one. Okay, so you can see that the current angle is 30 degree. Okay, if I click here and define the angle to be 90. So this is the straight option. I want the angle to be rotated from 45 to 135. I want to rotate the from 45 degree to 155 degree. This should be the limit. To define the limit, we have two options here. This one, the bigger one, is the major, the maximum value. This is the small minimum value. So I want to control it from 45 degree to 135 degree. The minimum value should be in the lower one and the higher value should be in the maximum value. So just define these two values, click OK, and now if you rotate the object or move the object, you can see it cannot go further. You cannot rotate it further from here. You can just rotate it like that, not further away from this. Okay, so this is the option of advanced mate, that is how you can control how you can limit the angle like that. Again, I'm going to show you. Go to the mate. Okay, go to the advanced, go to the limit or angle here. Just select the two faces. I want to specify. You can specify the angle to this one, because both are at the rotation. So if you select these two faces also, you can specify the angle to these two. So define the 0 degree. Okay, so I need to specify 180 first. You can see this is the option, this is the angle that is required, and we need to rotate around this angle. So I'm going to rotate 45 degree to each direction. So minimum value should be 180 minus 45, so that is 135, and the maximum value would be 180 plus 45, so that will be 225. So this is the minimum and the maximum limit. It's okay, and you can see that if you go to the rotate, object will be rotated in that limit only. Okay, so this is the rotation angle option. Okay, you can see this is movable right now. If you want to create it similar, you can just select these two faces and make these faces parallel here. Okay, and you will see the faces will remain constant. Okay, they will not move. Okay, they will only move in the direction, because we have made them parallel, so they will not move. Uh, they will create this type of error. Okay, so how to control that? We have to just align the axis of this rod to this one, that the alignment should be from here to here, and then we will not face any problem. So just remove the parallel from here. So first of all, you have to just specify that the alignment of this should be okay. So these faces can be made parallel also. Go to the mate first, use the parallel from here to this face and this face, and there is error because there is an angle of 13 degree. You can see here there is an angle of 30 degree because this is twisted from there. So I'm going to use another option, another value. So we have to use the plane or something like that. So I'm going to first use the object, this one. There is the object, which is the shaft. Okay, and in shaft I think we have a plane like that. So go to the mate. I'm going to make that plane parallel to this one. Now if I click OK, you can see that if I move the object, this shaft remains parallel. Okay, like that. And again you can do this into this side also. So again, select this one or this one. Go to the plane, go to the mate, and define a relation that is parallel here. Click OK. And now return the object. You see both will remain parallel to the place. Okay. So use the relation, use the mates according to the need, what you need according to that you can just apply the motion. Okay. Yes, we can generate that. Sometimes we face the problem because in the library some standards are not available, some libraries are not available. We have to change that according to our need. We have to manipulate a little bit. But most of the standards are available in this software. If you face any problem, you can just download the part from online also. We have an option here. Okay, there is another option that we can download from the library also. Okay, there is the SolidWorks content. If you have active internet, there will be some options like what we want to download. Okay, for the blocks, for the circuit, for the routing, for the weldment, we have some standards here. Like for the weldment, I want to download this ISO type, so I can just double click on it and it will be downloaded. Okay, right now I have already downloaded this. You can see control plus click to download. So press control and click like for GIS. Now you can see it is asking for the location and we can download that. Or we can download from any website. The content of that website can be added to the library also. But most of the files are available in the toolbox. Okay, any other question? So that was it for the day. For the assignment, we have the assignment number 7, and that we have to create all the parts of this assignment. This is the assembly. These are the drawings for the assembly. You have to create all the parts, and after that you have to create the assembly of this part. Okay, this assembly has a name that is old hand coupling. So it's a motion transfer from one axis to other axis. Okay, if you rotate this one, this shaft will be rotated because it will be driven with this one. Okay, any other question you can ask? Before that, I'm going to take your attendance. Wait for a few seconds.
Sir, is tomorrow is also session?
Wait a second. Okay, what is your question?
Sir, is tomorrow is also a session?
Yeah, the session will be the regular basis. You have tomorrow, day after that, and day after that. We are going to cover this training in 3 days.
So, sir, when we have to submit the
You
assignment?
have to submit your assignment on the next day. You don't have to submit on the same day. Just submit on the next day.
Okay.
Okay, like previously you have submitted your assignment. Yes, it is possible with the help of peers. You can send the power. Everything is possible in the SolidWorks. It is a big software. In this, we have different modules. We have the simulation. If you want to check the results, you can go to the simulation. And if you want to transfer the motion, just go to the assembly. In the assembly, you can use the gears for the motion transfer or any other you require. Everything is possible in the SolidWorks. Okay. So please submit your assignment before tomorrow midnight, and we will have the session. Please be on time tomorrow. Don't be late. Okay. Any question? No, you have to convert. You have to create the code. For the code, we have the software with the 3D printer. Okay. The 3D printer you buy will have the software with it, and you have to convert the code according to that 3D printer. Okay. Like if you want to save it to be printed, go to the file, save as, and you have to save it as STL format. So it should be an STL. This is okay, or whichever format your 3D printer needs, you have to save it according to that. So program will not be saved from here. Here you can just save it for the software where you will create the program. Okay. I think there is a software called Curo. Curo, I think Curo is the software name for the 3D printing program. Cura. I think Curo. Yeah, something like that. I forget it. I used it in 2016, I think, for the 3D printing. Okay. Any other question? Okay, going to close the session now. Thank you very much.